Hey everyone. So I really wanted to talk today about what's the difference between the ATP and the CPL. So the ATP stands for the Airline Transport Pilot Certificate, and the CPL is the Commercial Pilot License. But what's the difference? So traditionally what you do is when you go to flight training, you start with your private, then you go to your instrument, then eventually you get your commercial, and then you become an instructor. That's what some people do. And in order to get your commercial, you need to have about 250 hours of total flight time. You need 100 hours of PIC time. You need 50 hours of cross-country time, 10 hours of instrument training, and you need 10 hours of a technically advanced airplane. Basically what that means is it has like a moving map, and the HSI is kind of like digital, like attitude, altimeter, almost like a glass cockpit can be considered a TAA, or some of the instruments are a TAA. Now once you get that, you can now work on your instructor rating, and you can get paid to fly, and you're building up time. That's what most people do. And then when they get close enough to getting that magic number, which is 1,500 hours, in order to get kind of a job, your instructor rating will allow you to get paid and fly and build up some time. Now the ATP, I'm going to kind of get this right here. The ATP requirements are much more. So you need 1,500 hours total flight time. You need 100 hours of nighttime, which, as you noticed in the last one, the CPL, you didn't really need nighttime. PIC, you need 250 hours. Cross-country, you need 500 hours. Instrument training, you need 75 hours. And then basically in the class of rating you're trying to get, so for example, the ATP, you most likely would get an ATP rating, would be 50 hours. So if you notice, 250 to 1,500, that is a long way to get. And what you do is you become an instructor and build time that way, because now you're getting paid to instruct and you're building some time. An ATP is to become an airline pilot, right? You want to basically fly for Southwest or United or Delta or American. Those would be considered your ATP, FedEx, UPS, right? Those are ATP. Now, if you wanted to fly based on your commercial license, you still need the 1,500 hours. And the reason that number is like 1,500 hours is so because of the crash in 2009 of Flight 3407 near Buffalo, which killed about 49 passengers, in 2013 they changed that rule. Now it looks like they're trying to change it back. So regional airlines, I guess, are finding it hard to find pilots, with the minimum of 1,500 hours. So now what you need to do is, in order to get for a regional, what's a regional? American Eagle, SkyWest, things like that, you need 1,500 hours. That's pretty much it. You don't really need that much more requirements. Now, they might say, well, you need 250 hours cross-country, you need this much instrument time, but usually 1,500 is the magic number that you're trying to get to, okay? So how do you get to that, right? How do you get to 1,500 hours if you just kind of got your 250 and now you're working? Well, you'd become an instructor. You become an instructor, you work your way up. Now, I just got my CPL, my commercial pilot for a single engine. I'm going to be working on my multi-engine commercial soon. But how am I going to get that 1,500 hours? So right now I rent an airplane, which includes fuel. They call that wet. $125 an hour. So if I times that by 1,000 hours, right, because I have 500 hours now, that's $125,000 that I will need to be paying to rent that airplane. I could buy my own airplane with that much money, right? So these are things that I got to think about. My goal right now is to get the multi-engine commercial, get that knocked out. Then I got to figure out how to build time. I've already called a couple of skydiving places to see. I'm kind of looking at some places where they are accepting, 500 hours. So I can build hours, and that's what I want to try to do. My goal is, I want to see if I can make it to the airline. Now, I'm 43 years old, and I don't know if I'm too old, but the goal is to see what I can get to. So it's got to start with getting the multi-engine commercial, and then focus on how I'm going to build time. To me, I think the easiest way to do it would be to buy an airplane, and I'm not talking about some Cirrus SR-22 2022 airplane, which is almost $1 million. I'm talking about like a Cessna 150, which is a two-seater. I saw today, I was looking online, there was one for $39,000. Pretty low engine time. I think it only has 430 hours on it. So I could use that. I don't have to rent it in it. And at least the money I'm spending on it, the fuel, the maintenance, that's just my plane. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go. Okay, so kind of getting back to ATP versus CPL. You saw the requirements. So in order to move forward in your aviation career, you are going to need an ATP for those major airlines or major, cargo carrier. Once you have all those requirements, and that's how you get it, that's how you get it flying regional. There's like Ameriflight, which is a cargo company, SkyWest, American Eagle, and you build up time that way. And then usually they give you like interviews with these big major airlines and things like that. So I think that is what I'm going to do. First, like I said, I need to get my multi-engine commercial. Once I do that, I want to try to build time. And then I'll see where it's going to go from here. But yeah, so that's what the difference is, because the reason I made this video was because a lot of people said, oh, you're a commercial pilot, can you go get a job at United Airlines? No. You can't. There are steps in doing it. And if you're not in aviation, you just think, oh, he's a commercial pilot, commercial, he's done. No, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of things that go into getting to that United Airlines or that American Airlines or, UPS or FedEx. I mean, UPS and FedEx, you're actually required to have a bachelor's degree. Like American and United, they don't require, Southwest, they don't require you to have a bachelor's degree. It's preferred if you have one, but to fly cargo, you need a bachelor's degree. So I want to focus on this next rating, which I think all I need is 5 hours, and then I need to do a couple of maneuvers, and I need to shoot an instrument approach and a twin engine. And then from there, I'll figure out what I'm going to do. I want to see what I can do to kind of continue working up that goal, see if I can get those 1,500 hours. Okay, well, I hope you liked the video. If this is your first time to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Again, I'm going to try to do videos as much as I can and try to get these going. All right, thank you. Take care.